Good morning. Oh, there he goes. There's your goose sighting for the day. So sorry. So sorry. You enjoyed it while it lasts. Hello. Melee, congratulations on your first. Razor, thank you for the resub. Happy Thursday. Oh, Razor, you get to do an ad lib. I don't know why I could not think of the word to save my life. Razor, I need a plural noun from you. If you would be so kind. A plural noun. DK, hello. Welcome in. Let me know if the audio is okay. It's been a hot minute since we've done this. I feel like I say that every stream, and it's true every stream. Gays. That actually kind of makes sense in this particular spot. Reminder that these are queer or like pride related, pride themed ad libs. So when people think they're being like funny and using gay words, you're actually picking words that probably make sense. But thank you again for the resub. I appreciate it. Happy 51 months. 51 months. Hi, Bones. Welcome in. I was QCK. I appreciate that. Hi, Tootie. Razor, do you remember how to do shout outs? Be so kind as to shout out our friend Tootie. How did the rest of the fundraiser go? I was lurking. While you were dating I think the curtain rod at the time. Good job, Razor. You did it. We've made it very easy. Modding for me is not a hard job to ever to go follow Tootie right now. Hysterical. Absolutely hilarious. Of course. Gotta be part of something. I mean, amen, sister. It feels like and I know that for a lot of us this has been the case pretty much our entire lives, but it feels like literally everything is on fire right now, and it feels like everything is a crisis. Everything like deserves and demands like our full 100% attention, and we just can't possibly like we can't be everything all at once, do all things. But that's literally what this moment is calling for. But anyway, how's the audio on my mic looking on OBS? It looks fine on OBS. Is that your way of gently asking me to turn it up? I have I think changed the filters maybe a little bit because I use voice mod for my job too. A little low. We'll wait till I start playing the games and then we'll have to crank it back down. I think we had to turn it down last time, if I remember correctly. We are playing Overwatch today, so buckle up, honey. Perfect. Raven! Oh my god, Raven. Haven't seen you in a minute. Raven, thank you so much for the resub. 31 months. Hello. I say I haven't seen you. I literally haven't streamed in, I think, forever. Raven, it's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Well, you're in the right place. Because let me tell you, anybody who's in my Discord, I've been going through it today, girl. While we're doing it, while we're catching up, Raven, because you resubbed, you get a Mad Lib. So if you could give me the name of a male celebrity That'd be great. This is as a recap. These are adult Mad Libs. These are Pride Mad Libs, and the name of this one is Cubs and Otters and Bears. Oh my! The name of a male celebrity. It's good to see all of you too. I've been in recluse mode. Many of you know I'm like on year 2 of job searching, and I just started college, and I just started the summer job, well, like a month ago. Um, and now my PC, I need to replace my PC because in October they're gonna stop supporting Windows 10, and my PC doesn't have whatever it needs to upgrade to 11. It's called a TPM. Don't ask me what it is. I cannot tell you. Trusted something something. Trusted private. It's a chip. It's some chip that needs to be enabled on your computer in order. Trusted platform module, whatever the fuck that means. Um, and in order to upgrade to Windows 11, you need this enabled on your computer. My computer doesn't even have one. Because why would it? Why would my computer come with something it's going to eventually need? So literally, I can't upgrade this PC to Windows 11, and they're going to stop supporting Windows 10 in October, several days before my birthday, as a matter of fact. So I won't be able to keep doing my school because I'm in an online program. The like seasonal, I bounce from seasonal job to seasonal job is how I've been getting by. So this job ends in the end of August. I have the opportunity to jump right into another seasonal job starting in August, but that job just implemented a requirement where in order to work remotely for them, you have to have a computer that has Windows 11. So I can't even apply for that job with this computer, but I can't afford a new computer without a job. So that is the world we live in. Thank you, Tootie. Matt Bomer. You know what? That kind of works here too. Job. The school doesn't require Windows 11, but some of the software that I use in my classes requires a PC. So once I can't, and for security purposes, um, once this computer can't get updated anymore, it's not going to get security updates anymore either. And so I have a Chromebook, but I can't do my school stuff on that. I can get onto my like classes and submit things, but a lot of the classes I'm taking are going to be using these like statistics programs that I can't use on something like a Chromebook. I have to have, and eventually this PC is going to become obsolete. And by eventually, I mean probably shortly after October 25th when they stop supporting Windows 10. So that's where we're at. And I'm only in school because I'm trying to get into a better job because I've spent 2 years trying to find more DEI jobs, and that's clearly not working for me. So yeah, that too, Raven. But the school I go to is in New Hampshire, so that's not. I just went through this with my. I got pulled for verification for my financial aid too. All of my information I sent in got like pulled for an audit or whatever. So I had to send in this form that was um, notarized, and so I either had to go into the financial aid office of the school or find a notary and fill this form out in front of them and have it notarized. And it would be literally like a 3 or 4 hour drive to get to this school just to fill out a form. So I had to go to the UPS store and get someone to notarize it. So it just sucks. I'm hopeful that things are going to work out because they have to. Because otherwise, I won't have a place to live, and I don't have. Um, I have family, but they're not in a position to like take me in if I don't have a like. I can't just go stay with my family, and I certainly can't just go stay with people with the dog. So like things just kind of have to work out, and I've always been pretty good at like hustling if I have to and like making it work one way or another, but I'm just tired of having to do that. So it'll be fine. And I'm not asking for like advice or solutions unless you've got one that's like I'm tired of people telling me like, "Oh, well, you should go to school for this, that, and the other." That's not going to help me like next month. Like this program is going to take me a year and a half or two to finish. So even what I'm doing now, like a lot of it isn't going to work right away. So I get that there isn't like anything people can say, but just know that like I'm not expecting people to fix it, but um it's just frustrating. Canale, to answer your question, Goose is good. He's good. His little patch on his rump is almost grown all the way back in, so people don't look at us weird anymore. But he's doing good. He's taking his heartworm preventative every month like he's supposed to. Things are, knock on wood, going well. We'll find out in I think 2 more months, 3 more months. He goes back in for his testing to make sure that we got everything. But he's not having like the coughing fits that he was having right after he finished his treatment. I was worried that that meant something. He's not really having those as much anymore. He does these things which Google told me is like a reverse sneeze, which I guess is just a normal thing dogs do. I thought that had something to do with the worms, but apparently it's also just a normal thing. So hoping that he's okay. That's the only thing that could really fuck me up right now is I can't afford like another um like crisis with him. So it's really intense, Raven, and he gets them in like fits, so it's never just one. And um, it sounds like he's like choking or like something is seriously wrong because they're like big ones for him. So every time I'm like, oh my god, or I'm expecting like a worm to shoot out of his nose. Oh, anyway, on that note, yeah, I'm probably not gonna get a computer on Facebook. I have, and I've never used it. Um, I do have an Amazon like Prime credit card. I applied for it at one point because they were giving away gift cards if you got approved. So I could if I had to. Absolute worst case scenario. This is the same situation I was in with the dog when the dog was diagnosed with heartworm. And I've already fucked that up. So the same thing happened where like I don't have the money to cover it, but I have a credit card with space. So what I did with the heartworms was I put all of his treatment on that card, and we of course raised money on Kofi, and we covered about half of it, but the other half is still racking up interest on that credit card. I'm not paying on that card other than I'm making like the minimum payment. So I could do the same thing with the computer if I absolutely had to, but that would be just like another credit card payment every month. There'd be another thing just racking up interest, another thing fucking up my credit. So I'm trying not to do that, but also like it doesn't feel like I'm going to be in a position to just buy a new computer between now and October either. So yeah, I had no idea, Raven. And that sounds so similar to the like coughing and hacking sounds he was making because of the heartworms. Um, that I just assumed both were because of the worms. And so when the cough kind of stopped out, the cough happened mostly when he was getting like super worked up. So if you'd go outside and get the zoomies, or if he got really excited because someone was here, it would happen when he got like excited or worked up. That's for the most part gone, but the sneezes are still happening. And it happens like last night. It happened at like 2 in the morning. It woke me up out of a dead sleep. He's just like, and I got a weird sneezing fit on the bed. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm not trying to dwell too much on like the shit that's going on. It sucks. It's going to continue to suck. I also am keenly aware that like things are shitty right now for a lot of people. And at least for the time being, hang on, my mother's calling me. We had to go and say something. Hang on. girl. She's fine. She's fine. She called me earlier. I forgot this. Called me earlier because she got a new modem, I think, or some shit, and it wasn't working. So she called me. Not She knows better than try to get me to help her to fix things over the phone. My brother and I, we just don't speak the same language when it comes to like trying to give each other directions or anything. It just doesn't work out. But she needed me to look up the number for Spectrum for her. So she's got a technician coming tomorrow. I think that whatever the problem is, she's fixed it and that just hasn't realized it yet because she was calling me on their home phone, which with Spectrum, your phone runs through your modem. So if your home phone is working, there shouldn't be any reason that your internet isn't also. And my guess is that when this technician shows up at their house tomorrow, it's going to be something super simple, and he's just going to be like, "Yeah, you weren't connected to the right network or whatever." But not my problem. Not my problem. Anyway, I was expecting it to be because she also this week she went to her lung doctor. My mom has a history of she's gone through cancer like 4 times. She's got COPD. She's I think 3 rounds of melanoma. She's had a couple growths like on her lung thing. She went back to her lung doctor this week. She also now has stage 4 emphysema on top of everything else. So they said that her lungs are clear right now, but that there's a bunch of damage. So don't smoke, people. Whatever you do, do not smoke. My mom smoked from like age 16 until she only quit a couple years ago. So she's she's like, I think 67 now, 68. So she smoked her entire life and she's fully paying for it now. So anyway, so I thought that maybe it would be something like that. Anyway, that's the one thing I will say. Like generally speaking, I have my health right now. Like I don't have insurance. I got kicked off. It's called Main Care here, but it's like our state Medicaid program. I got kicked off of that when I started this summer job. I make too much now somehow. Um, but I also I don't have medication that I take. I think there are conditions that I should be seeing a doctor for that I'm not, but I can live without without it right now. So I'm grateful that generally my expenses are pretty low. My rent's super high, but other than that, I know, seriously. Like it generally feels like every single day I'm just like keeping shit together with like bubble gum and duct tape. And I know that there are a lot of other folks who feel that way. Um, and that I don't think is going to let up anytime soon for a lot of us. Unfortunately, I don't think we have a government that's like, not that we have for a long time, but like our government's not particularly interested or incentivized to actually help people. And I think that we're just now like having this sort of realization where a lot of folks are coming around to that. There are a lot of people who've been trying to tell us that for generations, but I think that it's starting to affect people that it didn't necessarily affect before, and in ways that I don't think people um, can ignore as easily as they like to try to make it. Yeah, and that's what I mean when I say that it's so much more obvious and it's so much more like um, impossible for folks to ignore. Like this bill that Trump just passed. I hate that they're calling it the whatever the fuck he named it. Um, it's bullshit. Is whatever what it is a very like clear like attack on poor people. It's the largest like transition of wealth from the lower middle class to the upper class in history. It's cutting vital programs that people quite literally depend on, while continuing or implementing new like tax cuts for the wealthy. And the way that they are so confident that there's nothing anybody can do about it is what's scary and frustrating, I think, for a lot of people. We have a system of checks and balances that is very clearly broken. Um, we have an executive branch that is hell bent on consolidating power within the executive branch, and the other two branches either can't or won't act to prevent that. Uh, oh, uh, and then the rest of us are just like, well, what do we do? How do we, um, how do we combat this? And it's hard. We talk about this. I feel like every stream, but it's hard to feel optimistic or hopeful when the people who we expect and count on to be the like resistance and to actually fight aren't really doing so. Um, Meaning the Democrats. Um, that's what's most frustrating for me. Like, we expect the Republicans to be and do shitty things. We expect people with power, people with money to do shitty things. But every 4 years, the Democrats run on this platform of like being the alternative, the people who are in the trenches fighting for us. And it's like, with this bill, Hakeem Jeffries tried to filibuster and he made it, what, 8 hours was it? 8 hours and 44 minutes he managed to filibuster this bill. But then they turned around and passed it anyway. Like, and that I feel like is such um it's such a like prime example of how the Democrats have kind of always fought. It's always been these like and it kind of reminds me of Susan Collins. I live in Maine. Susan Collins is my senator. Hate her, but it's kind of the same sort of thing where it's like they're fighting for us, but in ways that don't tangibly change anything. They passed the bill anyway, um, and then they'll point to things like this filibuster as like, see, we're doing what we can. You just need to vote for more of us. So rather than like actually fighting as though lives depend on this, which they do, every single decision that they make impacts actual real people and their lives. And I don't think enough of our representatives remember that or keep that central in the work that they're doing. Um, and then they'll blame the people who are kind of fed up with hearing this like every 4 years. Well, you've got to vote more Democrats in so that we can prevent all this shit the Republicans want to do. But then what happens is they kind of start from the center and then compromise to the right is the best way I've kind of heard it explained. Is that like the Democrats always start with the most sort of middle of the road, moderate, big tent kind of stance on a matter, on an issue, on a bill, whatever it might be, and then compromise to the right. And so what happens is when the Republicans are in charge, we get what's happening now. Things get eroded quickly. They are incredibly efficient at tearing down kind of institutions and the structures that are supposed to keep our government functioning and hypothetically balanced. And then when the Democrats win, because we as the voting populace see all of that happening and we say, well, we got to pick the other, because there's only two choices, right? We've got to pick the other one. They get nothing done the entire time because they operate from this like consensus perspective where they feel like we need to reach across the aisle, work with Republicans. We can't be too extreme or too far left, or else we're going to lose the next election. And then they lose that election anyway. And we have nothing to show for it. That we lose any progress that might have been made. And none of the things that they run on ever get accomplished or achieved. And so what happens is it's this kind of constant inching to the right, to the right, to the right. And then when Republicans take charge and actually have some sort of formal power, that inching becomes, a run to the right. Because ultimately, both parties and the people leading them benefit greatly from this sort of duality. The Democrats don't have to do anything. The Democrats don't have to actually achieve anything other than not being a Republicans. And I think that's very well illustrated here in Maine. If you look at all the people running to contest for Susan Collins' seat, Susan Collins is up for re-election, I think, next year. And it's all these white men who are running, and their whole platform is basically, I'm not Susan Collins. And that's all the Democrats ever have to do is just not be a Republican. And then when they inevitably get elected and then don't actually get any of the things that they say they want to do done, they can just point to the Republicans and say, well, look how obstructive they've been. we can't get anything done because they're blocking all the progress. We need more Democrats in Washington. That's the problem. Useful to acknowledge how much hope is within candidates. Donnie, like, I don't know, like, we all have to hear the message the Democrats are shouting at us. Yeah, I think that's another great example. Mamdani has um, energy and support the likes of which we haven't seen in since Obama, maybe. AOC, I think, had a similar sort of like swell of support where the Democrats have a lot of us. Should change me. We're not playing Overwatch right now. We're talking, so let me do that. Like the Democrats have so many people, like hoodwinked into believing that like a progressive leftist agenda is too unpopular to get passed. When the reality is it's too unpopular with the right. If you continue to make your messaging and make your strategy to try to like play to the middle and win over moderates and independents and Republicans even, then yeah, selling something like Medicare for all, which shouldn't be that extreme and it isn't in almost any other country in the world, is going to be too extreme. But you're the Democrats. You're supposed to be the left party. You're supposed to be the left wing of of the political like American political spectrum. But they don't act like it. And that's why people say all the time the comparison gets made like the Democrats in the United States would be at best moderates in almost any other country. More than likely they'd be like a right leaning, a slightly conservative party in a lot of other kind of like Western democracy. And they don't acknowledge that. To them, wearing a mask is like a like progressive leftist fucking take. And again, because we've all had this like American exceptionalism, and our education system is such hot garbage, and there's such a powerful kind of fundamentalist Christian presence in our country. None of us understand that. None of us grow up understanding just how different things are here in the United States than they are anywhere else. And I think that's a big shift that we've seen in the last few years. I think a lot of it's due to social media, TikTok, and being able to see what life is like in other places. I get so many TikToks now, and I don't know if they're just influencers or if they're like real estate agents or who they are and why they're making the content they are. But it's people who are literally just showing off like apartments that are available in random other cities. Like there's one guy who he's based in like Kyoto, Japan, and so he'll like give a tour of an apartment that's available for rent in this random city in Japan, and it's like $600 a month, whatever the equivalent is in yen. There's another one who she's in I think Thailand, and there's a woman who just moved to China, and she's got like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. It's like this huge. It's in one of those like skyscraper tower things. She's paying like what the equivalent of $1,000 a month for it. And it's things like that that I think are starting to make people realize like, oh, we're supposed to be, and I still remember and I still like when I see like the patriotic bullshit people try to pull, I still feel that like sort of training that we all get when we grow up in the United States of like the US is this pinnacle. Like you are so lucky to live here. You are so lucky that you were born and raised here. Everybody else in the world wants to live here. Everybody else wants what you have. But what is it that we have? My rent is $1,800 a month. And some of you have been to my apartment. It's not a bad place. I don't mind my apartment. But $1,800 is fucking steep. And that's renting. I'm not like working toward owning this building. I'm not getting anything for that other than like a roof over my head. Same Raven. The only thing I can think is that at one point I went down a rabbit hole because there was someone who they made content around like um folks who live in the US who want to move elsewhere. And so my guess is that because I watched a bunch of that person's TikToks, something made it think that I want to see places to live and things. Um But yeah, I think that there are more and more people realizing, like, when we talk about being like the land of the free, we are not who that refers to. The vast majority of us. And there are still people who vote against their own best interest because they believe and they still kind of buy into this image that we're sold of that, including all of us, because we see what certain folks want us to see in other countries, and we think we are free because we don't have to live like that. We see what's happening in Palestine. We see what's happening in much of the Middle East, much of Africa, um, Ukraine, and think I'm lucky that that's not me. But the problem is that is us. We're just on the other side. Those things are all happening with our tax dollars. Those things are all happening kind of under our name, even though many of us might not know that or understand it. I wonder how long and how much we can strain the fundamentals. I think a lot of people would argue that we already do. Again, I think it's a matter of how soon am I going to feel it. I think what's happening with immigration right now is a fundamental foundational break in the system. And the fact that for all of the people who live here who hoard guns because they want to be able to stand up and fight back against a tyrannical government someday, I don't know how much more tyrannical it gets than masked men in unmarked vans snatching people off the street, whether or not we even know if they're an immigrant, whether or not we know whether or not they're here legally or followed whatever process. Many of them are in the process of going through the proper channels. That's how they've been picked up, is they get picked up at an ICE office after they've shown up for a hearing, and they're trying to go through the proper channels, and they get snatched up anyway. Um, this alligator Alcatraz bullshit. Like, these are all things that are, and rightfully so, uh, direct comparisons, direct translations to a lot of the things that we saw leading up to Holocaust. And I think because so many of us weren't around for that, and again, what we know about it is limited to what we were taught in school. Um, we think that we're not there yet. There are a lot of people who think, oh, well, it's not that bad because it's not as overt, maybe, or it's not. I don't know. They're looking for certain language, or I don't know what it is that they're waiting for, but that is where we are. But there is no difference between what Nazi Germany did and what our own government is doing now. And I think we're seeing in real time how easy it can be with, um, again, a kind of broken government with no kind of uh, functional resistance and a weaponized incompetence of the general public. Um, just how easy that can be. And so I guess my question would be like, what would need to happen for you to think now we have a foundational problem? I don't know what more. Apparently now doesn't leave the house. We've had documented instances of people who are even U.S. citizens who've just vanished. They're deporting people to random countries. There was a group of men who the Supreme Court approved it. They said there's no constitutional issue with you just dropping these guys in South Sudan. These people who are not from South Sudan. That's not the country they were born in. That's not a country they've ever lived in or been to or have any relationship to whatsoever. The Supreme Court said, yep, go ahead and just drop them there. Can you imagine? I know for a lot of us, I know most of us are white. It's hard to kind of fathom that. But imagine you're at a grocery store, walking to school, whatever it might be, and you just get snatched up by these dudes in a van. Maybe they don't speak your language. Maybe you don't really understand who they are. You probably don't understand the law well enough uh, to navigate, the situation as competently as you would or should. You maybe get a court date, maybe don't, probably don't, and then just get dumped in some random. Imagine you get snatched off your street in fucking Pennsylvania, and legally, because the Supreme Court says so, these 9 assholes in robes, um, fucking say, you know what? Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead and just drop them in Botswana, and you're not allowed to go back. You have no recourse. You have no resources. You have probably just whatever was on you when you got picked up, if you're lucky, the clothes on your back, and now you're dropped in some random country you've never seen or and don't know anybody. And that's all like again signed off on by the executive branch and the judicial branch, and by extension, Congress hasn't really been doing much about it either. Yeah, exactly, Raven. Like it sounds, and I think for a lot of us we don't want to believe that that's where we're at, and it sounds like sensationalized and like we're exaggerating, but that's literally what's happening. We are literally seeing it happen in front of our eyes. We just had a military parade. We don't do that. That's not who we've ever tried to be. Hi, Tyler. Welcome in. And I think for a lot of folks, it's scary. So we don't want it to be where we're at. But by doing that, we're minimizing what's happening. And again, I think for a lot of us, it's because it's not affecting us. It's not my family. No one I know personally has disappeared. I saw a TikTok today. It was a man. He is or was the chaplain at a children's hospital in, I think, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, if I remember correctly. He has been a vocal supporter of Palestine. He's been very outspoken about Palestine and the need for um, the genocide there to stop. He went to, he had, I think, an appointment scheduled with ICE, and they sent him a letter beforehand canceling the appointment and instead having him come at some different time. And he was like, I'm hoping that it's just that there was some sort of administrative mistake or there's something happening, and it's just a mix up and we'll get it all fixed. No, they arrested him and detained him when he showed up. Um, he is from, I'm blanking on where from. Columbus Hospital. I'm blanking on his name. Iman Solomon. Or Cincinnati, not Columbus. Came to the U.S. over a decade ago as Egypt. That's where he's from. As a refugee from Egypt. He received asylum 11 and a half years ago and began working as a Muslim chaplain at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, where he gave pastoral care to sick and dying patients and their families. He had to quit his job because they revoked his work visa and his asylum. Um, and so he had a meeting scheduled today. So he was supposed to have an appointment today. And no one has been able to contact him since he went in for that appointment. But he has said multiple times that if he gets sent back to Egypt, that would be a death sentence. He's a political asylum seeker from Egypt, facing certain death. And he'd been here for 11 years. I mean, when the hypernormalization becomes impossible. Well, I think that's the thing, Razor, is that will if that's what you're waiting for, I don't think we're ever going to get to that point where everybody knows the jig is up, because there will always be a not exactly small portion of the population that will believe anything that they're told. They will believe whatever messaging they are given. And as things like AI become more and more prevalent, and it becomes easier and easier to sort of um, craft a message, or even if you aren't successful, and I think we see this with Palestine in particular, there are people who see these videos of kids with their limbs blown off, kids holding their sibling, their dead like sibling in their arms. They can look at that and say that that's fake, or that that is taken out of context, or whatever it might be. It blurs the lines enough that people, again, because we are by nature um, sort of sheltered, and we want to believe that that's not the world we live in. We want to. It's easier for us to keep ourselves comfortable and not confront what that would mean, what it would mean to accept that, yeah, likely thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people potentially have been blown off the face of the earth using weapons paid for with the tax money that could be going toward fixing my local school, feeding people who don't have food. And there will always be people, because accepting that and kind of reckoning with the enormity of how long that has happened, and how deeply flawed and how deeply broken our our country is, our government for sure is. It's easier to keep believing what we've been taught, what we've been um, that it is your neighbor who might be an immigrant or Muslim or uh, just poor, disabled, whatever, trans. It's easier to believe for those folks to believe that that's the person, that's the reason you're not better off, that you don't have more money in your bank account. It's because those people are mooching off the government, not the billions and billions of tax credits and refunds and cuts that are going to folks like Jeff Bezos. They will demonize social safety nets and welfare for individuals while simultaneously funding funneling more money into social safety nets and welfare for corporations. This idea that people who don't make enough money are just not working hard enough. I'm not paying for your health care. You are. Walmart has more people on welfare than any other employer in the country. You are paying for that. You're just paying for that for Walmart instead of for those individuals. You are subsidizing Walmart, the corporate entity that is Walmart, instead of the individual real life human beings who work there and don't make enough to actually make ends meet. When they are on food stamps, when they are on welfare or WIC or whatever, choose your program of choice, you are still paying for that. It's a matter of deciding what you want your tax dollars to go to. I would rather my tax dollars directly support those people. I have no problem with my tax dollars paying for SNAP or Medicaid, even if there are people who are mooching off of it, who could be working, who could be doing something differently, and paying for their own food or paying for their own healthcare. I don't care. It doesn't happen often enough that I'm that worried about it. That same kind of corruption at the corporate level is a baked in practice. I would be much more interested in hearing how we're going to tackle that. But because those people are also funding a lot of the people making these laws, we never see it that way. We never think of it that way. I don't know. It's wild. I don't have kids in school. You don't see me petitioning to have my taxes not go to the education of the kids in my community. First off, as though any of us actually pay that much in taxes that we're like single-handedly funding the fucking SNAP program in your state. Please, please sit down. None of us are raking it in at the rate where your tax dollars are the reason there are so many people able to mooch off your fucking local welfare, whatever your pet program might. Like, let's be so serious with ourselves. But again, the folks with the power, with the money, all those things benefit from that sort of divided, and that's why when people talk about like the need for us to, and it gets twisted, and the way people understand it ends up being uh, off from the intent. But it's not about things like race or gender or any of the other things folks use to kind of like split us up. It's a class distinction. It is, there are people who have all of the wealth who get it from us, whether directly by bills like this one that take our money and give it to those people, or by exploiting our labor. Jeff Bezos, I would hazard to guess he's never lifted a finger and actually meaningfully packed any Amazon orders, produced any of the products that they sell beyond maybe like a photo op. He has certainly, his labor has not been proportional to the amount of reward he has reaped from that organization. It is the people who work for him that produce that revenue for him. And we have just allowed ourselves to believe that he deserves all of that money. He just dropped what, $50 million on his wedding? I got to start saving these articles and shit, because I always just say, oh, I saw this article or I saw this TikTok. That $50 million to Jeff Bezos is like $30 to like the average American. Spending $50 million on a wedding is equivalent to an average American spending about $25. And we're all just okay with that. We have a culture that says, yeah, he earned that. He deserves that. He's worth $240 billion, according to, this is just a quick Google search, so that might be slightly off, but $50 million. Nothing to him. 0.02% of his wealth he dropped on that wedding. But the reason we can't have free healthcare for everybody, or even something that I would think should be kind of universally agreed upon, something like free lunches for school kids. If we're going to force kids to be at school for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, why are we forcing them to pay for their lunch while they're there? Things like that. Free healthcare, free housing. Everybody should have a place to live. Those things are unattainable. Those are pie in the sky. Those are too far left. Those are extreme leftist, radical perspectives to hold. But one man having $240 billion, multiple yachts, dropped $50 million on his wedding. How much did he pay in taxes last year? Likely paid little to no federal income taxes because he didn't sell any stock. His realized or actual tax rate is substantially lower than yours or mine. Because again, we have a system that rewards people for exploiting the labor of other human beings. Exactly, Razor. And that's why it's so wild that for so many people, even the prospect of taxing billionaires more gets so much resistance. Even the like smallest, an extra 1% tax on anybody making more than $1 million a year, which excludes the vast majority of us. People act like they're coming for your purse specifically. Like someone is literally going to reach into your wallet and take out half your money. But those That could change everything for so many people. What could 50 million do? How much would it cost to feed every school child in America? So we currently spend what is school nutrition? Okay. So we currently spend in the ballpark of $19 billion on free and reduced price meal programs in public schools in the United States. It would cost an extra $11 billion annually to provide free school meals to all children in the United States. Which that's a big fucking number, of course. But when you think about what we spend on some of these other things, how much is a stealth bomber? $2 billion. $2.1 billion for a B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. How much value of weapons the US has sent? We provide $3.8 billion annually in military aid to Israel. Most of it, about 3.3 billion, is foreign military financing, which Israel turns around and uses to buy US military. So the next time some knuckle dragging asshole on Facebook tries to tell you that we can't afford to feed kids, just remember, we always manage to find money for more bombers. We always manage to find more money to send to Israel. Israel gets free healthcare on our dollar. We fund it. Susan Collins, was it? She said, "I am pro-Israel." Somebody confronted Susan Collins and asked her if she knew how many Americans the Israeli military has killed. And her answer was, "I am pro-Israel." That was her answer. When they showed up with cameras and said, "Susan, do you know how many United States citizens, how many Americans have been killed by Israel?" Her response was, "I am pro-Israel." Here it is. Zateo? Um, I don't, can you all hear this? Is that not pulling? Hang on. Zateo, okay. I've never heard of it before.
Do you know how many Americans the Israeli military has killed in the past 20 months?
Sorry, she's got a meeting. Thank you.
No insight on the Americans killed by the Israeli military, Senator?
I am pro-Israel.
That's all she had to say. I am pro-Israel. So she's okay with it? She supports them murdering Americans? Or she's at least okay with it? Oh, gotcha, Raven. Yeah, I've never heard of it. But that's wild. We've got United States elected officials, people who are charged with upholding and advocating voraciously for the people who elected them, openly, unapologetically, prioritizing the actions, government, and citizens of another nation over their own. She cares more about what the Israeli military is doing than she does her own constituents. And there's a greater than zero chance that she's going to get reelected again. This isn't new for her. I think she's had to speak on it a lot more because she's one of the moderate Republicans who sometimes votes for the Democrats. So I don't think she's used to having to speak on it quite as much as she has been. And there's certainly been a shift, I think, in public opinion on Israel and Palestine. But she's always been this way. She and countless others in Washington. Um, so yeah, I think I think we're past like whatever like, tipping point or whatever folks might be waiting for to be like, yep, now shit's getting real. I think we've passed it. It just might not be something that we personally have seen or has like impacted us in the same way that it is impacting others. And I think there's a parallel to be seen there too with the Holocaust, and that there are people who never maybe saw the impact themselves until it was too late either. So I don't think that we're going to get to the point where it's like, um, I think there's also a misunderstanding that that ever happened during the Holocaust, that there was ever a point where like everybody just realized this was wrong, and all of a sudden everybody in Germany wanted Hitler out, and it was like this moral awakening. I don't think that ever happened then either. There were still people, even to the end and beyond, who still believed that what they did was right and just and moral. Um, and the United States hired a lot of them. A lot of the scientists and doctors who were experimenting on people and crafting new weaponry, the United States hired them and brought them to the United States to work on our military. Like, we have this documented. We know this to be true. So this idea that like I don't think there will ever be a point where enough people um just decide that this is enough. And that's why I think the dialogue ends up being so heavily on like how do we motivate the people who have the power to make these decisions. And that's where the conversation turns into like, well, can you just vote your way out of it? What does activism look like? Is it moral and ethical to like harass people in restaurants because they vote a certain way? Or and then we get into the the more extreme sort of like scare them into doing the right thing type strategies. And I'm not here to endorse or condemn any of them. I think um how you choose to act and make yourself heard is your choice to make. But like I think we're at a point where we can't just wait for the Democrats to save us, because that's clearly not what they're doing. That's not in their best interest. That's not in their playbook. This benefits them. Yeah. And I think that that's something I think a lot of folks are missing and forgetting too, is that like beyond immigration being about like who works in our farms and does all the jobs that white folks don't want to do, there's like a fundamental um there's a conversation missing around just how fundamental immigrants have been to this nation from the beginning, beyond like being a source of cheap exploitable labor. And I think that it's easy for a lot of folks to go there first because we're so entrenched in capitalism that that's all we understand. But um beyond that, moment was 5:44. Yeah, I think it's clear that there are a lot of folks who just don't understand why folks immigrate too, especially now. Like I can't imagine how bad things would have to be at home that I would still choose to try to cross the border into the United States now. Like it was already a tough journey. A lot of folks walk many, many, many miles through dangerous territory with children, with like whatever, everything they own. Maybe no money, no way of protecting themselves, in the hope that they're able to cross and maybe find work. And now they have to deal with all this bullshit when they get here too. And I think that that's the switch that a lot of folks just don't seem to be making, is rather than thinking like what kind of person is crossing and coming into this country illegally, um, consider instead what must be happening wherever they came from to push them here. That this is still the more appealing option. That they would still risk all of that. That they would still risk being separated from their family, from their children, dying, to come here. And I don't know. I struggle with that sometimes because I think that I tend to, um, growing up, I developed a really strong sense of empathy. I was always taught to consider where someone else is coming from and try to understand, even if the choices they make based on that aren't ones that I would make or ones that I agree with or support. So for me, that's always been something that came to me naturally. I worked in a nursing home where like everybody had Alzheimer's and did weird shit all the time. And I was constantly being reminded, like, they have a disease. This is what's driving those decisions. That's not who they are. That's not who they were. And so for me, it was just like my default kind of response whenever someone did something I didn't like or agree with, was to try to understand where that comes from. And it feels like there are so many people that have either been taught or because of whatever they've gone through, they've become kind of jaded to that sort of perspective or lens, and they just refuse or are incapable of thinking that way. And like recently, I don't- yeah, yeah. And it's not just white folk. I mean, there are, and we see it. It's a really big thing in Florida. I have family who still live in Florida, and there's this like strange, sort of duality in the immigrant community of like the good ones and the bad ones, where there are folks who came here maybe legally, maybe not legally, but they're here legally now. Um, and they sort of position themselves as like the good kind of immigrant, and they're some of the most vocal and aggressive opponents of more empathetic or more compassionate immigration policy. It's almost this idea of like, well, I got in and now I don't want anybody else to be able to get into. Like now that I've gotten mine, I don't want it to be easier or as easy as it was for me for anybody else. Even though I understand why they are doing what they're doing. Like I understand what might be driving them. I don't care. Um, and it's this very like kind of pick me energy where it's like those are the people that get weaponized and tokenized by the media or by other kind of like bad actors and ill intent, to say like, look, it's not just white folks who are saying this shit. Like these people know better than anybody, right? They immigrated from wherever, and they're saying the same thing. And it's like it's sort of like the detransitioner influencers who make that their entire personality and then weaponize it against trans folks. It's the same sort of thing where it's like you're a useful idiot right now, and you're doing it because you're getting paid to do it. They make money doing that. You can grift very easily to the right if you're someone who's got that sort of moral flexibility. If I wanted to, I could probably start making money as like a vocal anti-LGBTQ, anti-woke DEI because of my experience working in DEI as a queer person, as someone who does drag, as someone who is non like all of those experiences, as much as they are part of who I am and a source of strength for me, could very easily become the reason that I'm able to make money speaking and making content, to actively harm the same community. Exactly, yeah. And that I think is one of the things that's really tough for folks to try to grapple with, is like we can talk about systemic issues and solutions, But there's a fundamental, I think, and intentional. That's again, that's part of how all of this works. The more that we're at each other's throats, the less we realize who's actually hurting all of us. Um, and that's where I think sometimes as content creators and in a world where like social media and the like 30-second clip bear more and more weight, I really have a hard time navigating the balance between that sort of like empathy and being willing to have hard conversations with people who we don't agree with and not tolerating the bullshit. Um, because I think it's hard to know whether or not those conversations can be beneficial or fruitful. And often there's an incentive for them not to be. Think about Jubilee. We watch a lot of Jubilee on this channel. I hate Jubilee. I don't think that they get anything done. There's no, I think, I don't remember a single time I've watched one of their videos and I felt like anybody came away from the conversation with a different perspective or an interest in further understanding the issue that they were there to talk about. Um, but I do think that there are times when the cameras are off and it's not like a weird kind of like social experiment or whatever, that those conversations can have a real impact. And so it's hard to like, we don't get super in depth about a lot of that. I don't spend a lot of my time like addressing or confronting opposing perspectives. And you don't have to. That's not your job to do that work. And I do think that in the spaces where you can and with the people that you can, it does help. And I say that because I saw that's how so many states were able to pass marriage equality, for example, because it genuinely is for some people just that they don't see a particular community as human until they know someone who part of that. It doesn't hit home for them. It doesn't click for them. It doesn't register to them because all we have to build those opinions on is stereotypes and what we see in the media until we know somebody. But again, that's also not the work of immigrants or Muslims or disabled folks or trans folks. Like you shouldn't have to do that. And that can be a really effective tool. Yeah, exactly, Raven. It's all about trying to get like a soundbite. It's all about trying to get your one-liners in. It's all about trying to be right or dunk on the other person. It's not about trying to understand. Um, again, that and again, maybe it's just that I lean too much into empathy and don't have enough sort of like other tools. But I think that in some again, sometimes people are just committed to their stance. I think in a lot of cases too, especially when we're talking about conservatives, they're not even that actually that like invested. It's a personality trait for them. I think for a lot of folks, it's become like a cultural thing to be conservative and MAGA. There's a brand that sort of becomes like a part of your identity. And I say that because a lot of folks who do that also don't really seem to understand the specifics of like the policy or points or the Constitution. But then again, especially in the sort of like content space, a lot of folks, it's very lucrative to do that. I think about Pearl all the time. What's her name? Pearl. Oh, she's really stupid. Just Pearly Things, I think is her name. Total idiot. She's very much like the pick me conservative woman. And I've never seen a clip where she makes a coherent point. I've never seen a clip where she comes across looking intelligent or good. But she keeps doing it because she's making money doing this. People pay her to come on their podcasts and on their TV shows, and her clips go viral all the fucking time. So as much as she sounds like an idiot and doesn't actually understand most of what she's talking about, she has no sound sort of like policy basis or scientific basis for any of the things that she says. She's just an idiot who babbles on the internet, but it works. I have 4 viewers right now. If I wanted to sit here and just like rage bait and like sacrifice marginalized communities for the sake of content, I could easily be far more successful from like a financial perspective. I've got 8 subscribers right now because I never fucking stream. It would be so easy to just pivot to the right, even if I don't actually believe it, even if none of the things I do in my real life actually follow that philosophy or that kind of worldview. I could make content that way and easily monetize it to a much more success than what I'm doing now. That's why there aren't a lot of big leftist content creators. There's Hassan, and that's really about it. And a lot of what he gets is, one, he's been doing this a very long fucking time, but also because of who he is, because he's someone who otherwise uh, has a lot in common with like far right types. He gets through. I do not have that benefit. There are not a lot of like commonalities I share with the typical like right wing dude. Um, so it's tough, but again, I think that there are absolutely times and experiences and moments where if you're able to have these conversations and try to establish some sort of like common starting point, and if you can bring out some of that empathy in the person you're speaking with, um, I think that there can be productive conversation. But I think adding a camera to that equation almost always takes that away. Yeah, exactly, Raven. She advocates for like not having sex before marriage, but she very much has. She talks about like being submissive to your man, and the man should be the leader, and the woman should be the follower. She's not in a relationship of her own. She's been quoted multiple times saying shit like, if you're not married by, I think 30 was the number I heard her say, um, like there's something wrong with you, and she has surpassed that age and is still not married, and so people are like, well, and she's also like when she gets called on this shit, she doesn't have any like defense for it. She just kind of like laughs and shrugs it off. She's been flagrantly anti-Semitic. When she got called on it, she just kind of like giggled and shrugged, and there are because there are no repercussions. There are no there's no accountability to be had. And if everything you say is just random bullshit, you just say more random bullshit and then people stop paying attention to the random bullshit you said yesterday. It's the same thing Trump does. So, I don't know. Anyway, this took a fucking turn. I thought I was just gonna hop on and play a little Overwatch. Um, but here we are. I also added this bot. I'm not sure how it works. Let me see. It's a translator bot. So um, I think if you, how does it work? I probably should have looked. The guy who made it, I was watching his stream. He does like co-work. He's like an engineer. He codes things for a living. So he created this bot that literally translates messages in chat. Oh, I wonder if I have to do it before you. Um. Oh. Oh, it's a command. I like that better actually. The way he had it working in his chat, and maybe. Oh, I have to set that up. So if I do auto. So I set it up now. So I think. That's cool. So I set it up now so you can set it to auto translate. So that if someone sends a message in your chat in a different language, if it's the language that you've set, it'll automatically translate it. So now anytime someone types in Spanish in my chat, it'll automatically take that message and translate it. That's so cool. That's so cool. And from what I could tell, he had people in his chat who were speaking, I think, Portuguese. And I don't speak Portuguese. Talking, I know. But Portuguese is kind of similar sometimes to Spanish. And from what I could tell, it looked like the translations were pretty good. He had it set that it was translating to like 4 different languages at one time. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. And there's obviously a lot of different languages that you can set there. So maybe I'll play with it a little bit more. Maybe I should. What are some of the things the bots usually use? Russian. Let's set up an auto translate for Russian. Russian, are you? So now when the bots come in and try to talk shit in Russian, we'll know. So anyway, and it's a free bot. You literally just go to the channel and like you add it to your chat. It joins your channel, and then you just have to mod it so that it can send enough messages back to back if you need to. So anyway, I thought it was really cool. You can also set it to reverse too. So if I wanted to have every chat message that was in English translated to something else, we could do that too. I don't think I have a particularly like multilingual channel, but maybe someday. You never know. I have been practicing my Spanish. I've been on my Duolingo. Maybe someday. So, anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. All right, let's play Overwatch now. I appreciate when we have these conversations. The world is a dumpster fire. And we pursue. I've been trying to find new ways to like not unplug because I'm still on my computer pretty much all the time, but like the writing thing has been really good for me lately. I posted about this on Fourth Wall, but I think I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually write a book this time. And the reason is, here's the deal, and this is why I know Razor, you commented on the post and were like, wow, that was fast. Here's why though. One, it's not good. It's such a rough draft. Because that's kind of how I have to run. Not run, right. Oh, not at translating everything to Russian. That's not what I wanted. Hang on. That is not what I wanted. Well, whatever, we'll put up with it for now. So the way that I write is I just kind of have to go through and write the whole thing hard and fast, rough and ugly. So it doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure halfway through I changed one of the characters' names and didn't realize it until I was done. And it's also not long. It's only like 30,000 words right now, and typically like a novel's like 75 to 100. So there's a lot that needs to go. Some of the scenes are literally just like, this is what's going to happen, and I haven't actually built out any of the details. So, but that's kind of how I have to do it, rather than going like chapter by chapter. I just want to do the bare bones, and then I gotta go in and like fill in the meat. And so, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off that Russian thing. If it's gonna translate everything Russian, Razor says to Russian switch. Not that. How do I play? I get rid of one. All right, I think that worked. Anyway, but I also was able to finish it so quickly, or finish that first draft, because I found, while I was cleaning, I found a bunch of old flash drives And some of them, like one of them literally had nothing on it. One of them just had all my old papers from my like capstone class from my undergrad. I don't know why I saved those ones in particular. Um, Two of them just have like old pictures and things. But one of them had all these old, because I used to write all the time when I was in like high school and college. I wrote poems, I wrote songs, I wrote short stories. I was trying to write books then too. And so I have a whole bunch of this stuff that was started back then. Um, that most of it's bad and it will never see the light of day. But there were a couple. I have 4 that I salvaged and saved to my desktop that I might work on. So I had kind of a head start, and then again, because of the way that I write, these are not. It's like not a good. It's not a good book yet, and it won't be for a very long time. But it has been kind of fun. It has been kind of fun. And it's something I've always wanted to do, and I feel like now more than ever, I feel like um, if I'm gonna do something, I need to just do it and stop telling myself that I'm not ready or that I'm not capable. Um, because even if that's the case, so what? Okay, I don't really want this translating every. So maybe I need to do it the other way. So maybe it instead of English, Spanish, Spanish. Maybe that. We'll try that. Anyway, although having it in Spanish might help me with learning my Spanish anyway. We'll see. So yeah, I'll probably start doing more co-working streams too. As I go through and start like editing things. I've been pretty good about keeping up on my homework, but we'll probably do some of that. My schedule at work evens out over the next few weeks. So the last few weeks have been kind of everywhere in terms of my weekday shift. I always work both weekend days, but my weekday shifts have been kind of hopping around. But for the next, I think 4 weeks, I work Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think that'll help me get into a better kind of rhythm so that we can start doing like our Monday co-working streams. I would like to do those again. And then maybe something on like a Thursday or Friday. We'll see. We'll see. I want to get back into some sort of structure. If nothing else, just because I'm home alone with just me and the dog so much that having someone to talk to is nice. I spend a lot of my time talking to the dog, which I don't regret, but it also probably can't be that healthy, you know? Nos encantas tener más Carrie. Sí. All right. So what I wanted to do was play some comp and see if we can get our placements done for all 3 roles. But if the games end up being hot garbage, I will not keep subjecting myself. Oh, I'm not going to do all that today. To be clear, I don't think I'm going to get all that done today. I've been watching a lot more of and kind of paying attention to the Discord server for that Overwatch Aspirants League that Beth was sharing. And one of the things that you need to do in order to participate, their little like application that you fill out, the Google form, asks for your rankings from the last 3 competitive seasons for all of the rank, or all of the roles. And I don't think I've even been playing competitive for 3 seasons. So if I ever wanted to participate in something like that, oh, I do like that it translates like my So Black Lives Matter statement thing. I don't know. That's kind of cool. I feel like translating every single message is a bit much, but I'm also not really that mad about it. Not knowing how to translate work. Work is trabajar. You work. I work. Trabajo. You work. Trabajas. You're welcome. My wheels. Yeah, the bot might be a bit. Electricos, electricos, electricos. Oh, I don't think it knows what to do with the emoji. Oh, love that. Oh, that's right, though. G.I. Joe. Y'all a G.I. Joe fan? My brother used to love his G.I. Joe. Really my thing. Alright. Oh! The inactivated rank. Well, I don't want to play. It's gonna make me play tank the whole time. Well, YOLO, right? Maybe I'll be really good at tank. Maybe this is the start of something special. Something beautiful. Wheels, how are you? Feel like you need a nap? Same. The last few days, I've actually slept pretty well, but I wake up not feeling like I slept. Like I slept through the night, which is not typical for me, but I wake up feeling like I didn't actually. That makes sense. I like Antarctic. Y'all can hate me. Oh, I'm the tank though. Well, that's shit. Who do we play on Hollywood? Sigma?
Select your hero.
I think Sigma. I can play Sigma. I can play Orisa.
Select heroes.
Play Ramacho if I have to. I like Panzaria. I would like Van Freya. And I would like Panzera. In that order. I kind of forgot about this. Man. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm not mad about a pair of it.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Paris Hilton? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I can see it. And playing support, you know she would play Mercy. going in. It's fine. Everything will load in just a moment. We like to play on hard mode where you can't actually see the other.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Oh, Rest is such a pain in the ass. Oh! Fashion pain in the ass.
Was there a miscalculation? Actuating the barrier.
Stops the payload.
Oh, look, Paris Hilton's on my screen, talking. Oh, she's so close though, get her! Oh, we snuck around.
The answer remains nebulous.
No.
I feel like this Bastion and the Ashe are gonna snipe the shit out of me if I try to use my ult. I'm also not really getting any heals, if you haven't noticed. I feel like I need to go to
It seems I lost my balance. The barrier is weakened. Utilizations siege for me. Barrier unsuccessful. Actuating the barrier.
God, this Aritza is such a pain in the ass. Girl. I'm trying. Oh. I'm getting a whole lot out of our
within my reach.
Ash.
Get in there, Bob.
Actuating the barrier. Some siege for that.
Kiss my ass. I think I'm great at tank. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Oh. No.
Heroes never die.
Who the fuck is back there?
Do something.
God, this Aritza, she's so annoying. Yikes.
30 seconds remaining.
Girl. 8 and 10? Ma'am.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Not the cheat.
Prepare to attack.
But all
Select
that.
your hero.
Well.
Only in unity will we find strength.
I don't think anybody's cheating.
Step, my burden lightens.
I see you.
I don't think
glancing
anyone's
at me.
cheating.
wish
I
to
think our
ride me
Ash
to battle?
sucks.
What a preposterous thought.
Do not
But-
lie, Archer.
That's
It
kind of
is
what placements are
beneath you.
for, isn't it?
9. No. How are you?
I do not wish to be feared, but to be left alone.
You are
Same
a
hunt,
royal
though.
pain. You are a royal pain.
Oh my god.
5, 4,
Of course, it was the other DPS stuff.
1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
We'll show them a trick or two. I've got you.
Ooh, that was good. You're welcome. These DPS are just not doing it.
I must do better.
Oh my god! Please!
Heroes never die.
Fuck out of here. Oh! Come on! Listen, I'm busting my ass. If these hookers can't manage to get the rest of that point.
Helden sterben nicht.
Oh, they're dead. Fine. Hey.
I will never rest.
I don't think this May's gotten a single kill. Nobody's healing me. My word.
I must do better.
Girl, I literally cannot carry the whole team by myself. What are we doing? Okay.
Play of the game.
Yay. I don't know what armor C is trying to pop out, but anyway. Predicted rank bronze 3.
Vote for a map.
That sounds right. Thought we were about to end up on Gibraltar. Alright, who do we play on Route 66? I feel like this could be another Sigma one, right? I feel like this is a good Sigma map. I want Theraband. I should pay attention to what everybody else wants to play on my team before I pick my bands, but I don't really want any of them playing those heroes either. Okay. Take that. It is kind of nice playing tank because I don't have to worry about someone else stealing my hero. Like, loading in, taking this long, normally I would miss out on Moira. But I don't have to worry about that, do I?
Why seek answers when we do not know the question?
My cybernetic form came at great cost. But you asked to change?
I learned too young that my body couldn't always keep up with me. Besides, it's hard to turn down rocket legs.
Don't I know it? Hard to turn down rocket leg.
The delta M
What
of
they
a
call me
given
on
ray
Grindr.
Q is approximately... The formula escapes me.
It is within my reach.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commence. Escort.
Fine. Yep.
Bracing shield.
Area denial.
Who the fuck is up there?
Let's move the payload together.
Finally, a tank who's worse than I am. Thank you.
I'd say pain is inevitable.
Such is the pro. The payload has reached
Yep.
the checkpoint.
Ah.
The barrier appears. Barrier is split. Barrier has been overwhelmed. Barrier is nearly spent.
Oh.
Fired. Come on, try me.
Not bad.
Solid work. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the tank's strategy is, but I'm not mad about it. She wants to dive all by herself. Happy to let her do that.
Barrier initialized. The barrier is weakened. Barrier unsuccessful.
Bye.
Mission design at work.
Bye.
It's
Oop,
go
I'm stuck.
time.
Uses will stay out of my way.
Engaging enemy forces.
Guess I'm pushing the payload.
I see one.
Cybernetics regulating.
Your end is within my reach.
The universe is singing to me.
Oh, she's both.
Locking satellite vectors!
He has 4 minutes left. I'll take that.
Score
I'll take that.
0. Switching sides.
I'll show you bronze 3.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
I'll show you bronze 3.
Why seek answers when we do not know the question?
What kind of armor polish do you use anyway?
I make my own,
With walnuts.
among other things.
Not the tanks are pretty even. You watch your fucking mouth. 9-0 versus 3-4.
It's
I think that's a very interesting statement coming from my own fucking team.
Every problem is a very large hammer. It
That's
makes more
very
sense when he
interesting.
says it, I guess.
5, 4, 3, 2.
You can tell it's a bronze lobby because they can't tell that I'm actually kicking this tank's ass. Thank you very much.
Stop the payload.
Actuating the barrier. Barrier is splintering. My barrier is gone.
There's your bronze lobby, ugly.
The barrier appears.
Who are you ulting? Shit. That was the first time I've died though. Let the record show.
A revelation was within my reach.
I'm smoking this tank. I don't care what. Who was it? I think our break that.
وريهم قوتك. Disgusting.
Over here.
That's just
It sounds like they're under.
I'm on my game.
Stop that payload.
Barrier is nearly spent. The barrier has fallen.
Yep.
Return to me.
Oh, I got stuck on the door. Too bad.
Now, to begin again.
Away.
Enemy over here!
Dodge this.
Barrier initialized. Barrier is nearly spent. Barrier has been overwhelmed.
Yep. Yep. Stunning. I do really like Sigma.
وريهم قوتك.
I still don't love playing tank.
Cybernetics ready.
Barrier unsuccessful.
That Ana just saved your ass, Moira.
Barrier is splintering.
Good girl. Yeah.
What awaits?
Play of the game.
GG. You still think I'm gonna be bronze 3? After that performance? Wow. Can't please these people.
Choose your map.
No. I don't mind any of these maps.
Select your hero.
Oh. hate Freya on the or Farah on the map. I kind of hate Zarya. Oh, not the Orisa ban!
Traveling to Nepal.
My drag. What?
We will have peace at any cost.
If we do this right, they won't even know what happened.
Disgusting.
Over here. Let's make this quick. Over here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Taking flight. Take every obstacle as an opportunity to learn. Gaining altitude.
Oh!
The enemy is taking the objective.
A mild inconvenience.
Can't believe they banned Orisa. That's what I wanted.
What's up?
Oh!
Down the objective.
You're lucky you can run so fast. Yes. Oh, girls are fighting.
Let the Kitsune guide you. Do something.
Oh, I didn't see her behind me. That was ugly.
Brigitte.
Not that, I fell out. No, it's we'll use that one next time. Oh, they switched the stream.
Is not defeat.
That's why. Oh, I think that JoJo's fucked up out of my. I hate it.
Over here.
Pass into the eyes.
Slay.
Score 1-0.
Bella doing well.
You remind me of myself when I was younger.
They must be talking in voice chat, and I
You be
just
the
can't.
judge.
Okay. Thanks
Which
for
is
the
a good thing.
compliment.
That's how I like it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
The battle is all but won.
I'm wanting us to build our entire round. So let's do a sim. I'll be the sim. Not getting enough heals.
A battle lost for a war won.
What? Sorry.
Take everything from them. We will shield you for now.
Oh, I did not mean to do that.
We will take this. Unacceptable.
Let's kick this off. Enemy in sight. Your wounds run deep. Enemy seen.
That's not where I wanted that.
Guide you. Do something.
I just feel like I can't push without more heal.
Nanoboost administered.
Can't stop me now.
A mild inconvenience.
Getting a lot of kills, but not me seeing my own dead body. Ew.
I'm here. Thank you.
Claiming the I am
Over there.
unbreakable.
How
I'm no
embarrassing.
more.
Over there. Like a gentle rain.
Devour them.
I feel like there was just a lot of fighting going on without me.
Reality.
We won though, GG.
Play of the game.
Bronze 2, yes. She's the tank main. Get excited. victory we deserve. No.
Vote for your map.
Oh, not the same team. Huh? Well, Hollywood. Havana. Let's pick Havana. Oh. Well. Well.
Select your hero.
You queen. How about? I would like to play Orisa. That would be very nice.
Select heroes to
Let me. What, Aragon? Aragon. And really care. So I'll trace through one. Oh. All right. All right. I got literally the exact. They must all be grouped up. Or no, I don't think. I think one of the DPS, but I think I played with. The names all look familiar.
Only in unity will we find strength.
You spend your second chance at life walking along the road.
No one cares, monk.
Someone always cares. You must simply seek them out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Sojourn en route.
Try not to embarrass yourselves.
What was that Genji trying to do?
Moving along now. I won't let you fall.
I'll push that.
What a shame.
We're not done yet. Keep pushing.
You're a fair rat.
Forward spawn.
Where is everyone? Hello? At least I'm pretty sure we played against this tank before, and I don't.
I must do better.
I think this is the tank that our teams were like, actually, they're pretty decent.
Claim the dead.
Clear out. Inbound with cargo. Outfought.
Where the fuck? I don't see her. I just keep hearing Farah up there somewhere. Is my hearing just that bad that I can't tell what's working?
I'm on my game now.
Or is everybody just flanking in quick ways?
Vaporize.
GG. Gosh, I'm such a good tank.
Play of the game.
They really need to start creating a new rank for me, I think. Or I'm gonna get carried through my placement with this, and when I inevitably end up in a rank way higher than I should, I'm gonna hate it. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
Select a map.
Oh. I thought.
Select your hero.
Oh, we're on DPS this time. I didn't even notice that.
Choose heroes to ban.
Farah. Always Farah. Always and forever. I don't know why everybody's trying to ban Tracer. Okay. Oh, none of mine? Okay. That's fine. I was...
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
It was just... Yeah.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Swaggy. We have our lifeguard Junkrat. Which bones will be bringing life for us? Very the best part.
More
Very
field
excited for that.
research. Grand.
It's hard.
Very excited for that.
You brought a fox to a gunfight.
You must be fun at parties.
I don't go to parties.
4,
Yeah, that makes sense. You'd have to be invited first.
1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Knock 'em dead.
Oh! Look at all that damage I already have, though. Oh, you're welcome.
Point is vulnerable.
Yes! God.
Enemy spotted.
Grant me an ember from your hearts.
Yup.
It was all of them. I was just getting warmed up.
Junkrat, literally the most fun.
Over here! My ultimate is ready.
9 attack.
Oh. Yeah.
Score 1-0.
That map especially.
I was there. Did anyone read the mission brief?
Hi. What's up?
You think Liu Chang Interstellar is clean?
I'm like,
Nobody's clean.
The pleasure is mine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Victory is at hand.
fine.
There's the enemy!
The objective is
Get them off the objective!
Oh, get him! He's so low! Good job, Moira. I don't want to jinx him, but that could be good luck. That first match, maybe not. Ah! I believe.
I'm with you. Group up here!
Don't tell anyone.
It sounds like my audio is shit. Like, it literally sounds like that fighting all happened over here somewhere. Which is obviously not. You know what I mean?
Time for the reckoning!
Yes! No, they can't go on backwards. They go over my...
I'm going back in.
Let the Kitsune guide you!
Not me checking anyway, even though I knew that they couldn't possibly be on backwards.
to my will.
Victory.
Victory! What a nice day we're having on Overwatch. Ew.
Play the game.
Can I just stay in placement forever? I know, I keep like tempting fate. It was nice to not have to play tank that time. Little change of pace.
Vote for a map.
Oh, I don't think I played the new map yet. I don't really want to do flash, especially on tank. Yeah, I don't know about the bot. I wish I could set it just to translate anything people say. I'll play around.
Select your hero.
If I've ever played tank, Leo. Cerberus is like a
Select hero bands.
pretty good choice. Damn. The Matra. I'm all over the place. Okay. Honestly, as long as I don't have to play against Garda, pretty much anything else.
Now arriving at Phoenix.
We have a non-binary daddy on our support team. Love that. Love that for us.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Need to start. My neck keeps cracking.
Only
It,
in unity will we find strength.
for a second, this is probably not
I
good.
have a need.
When my neck cracks,
For
it's hitting like a
swiftness.
nerve or something, and I see like a flash of light.
Stay in sight.
And then I'm
and
fine
I'll keep you
afterward, but
safe.
probably that's not.
What's up?
I'm sure it's fine, Scott.
3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Yeah, actually, I always have kind of thought that I had something because there are times too, like, where I'll feel things with, like the wrong part of my body. Gosh, I sure hate Wrecking Ball. That's a Life Weaver. Maybe.
Reevaluating.
I mean, we're still winning, so I guess
Engaging.
as long as what we're doing. Oh! Yo, I'm busting my ass. You y'all get. Yep, with
I
me.
learn from my mistakes.
Yep, right.
ชีวิตปกป้องชีวิต
Feels good, huh?
Oh! Well, we got some all settled.
Surrender to my will.
They will
Let the Kitsune guide you. Get in there, Bob. I'm cutting.
best round lost. Score.
Girl, I need Ash to get her shit together. 0-4. Starling Peter.
Pump up the bass. It's time to roll out.
Been a while.
Five, four, three, two, one. Round two. Capture the objective.
Sojourn en route.
I feel this in my
I'm doing what I can, girl. I feel like 1 in 5 is gonna cut it from a.
The world still needs defending.
Well,
Restoring balance.
Watch out, I'm on fire!
well,
I think we're outnumbered.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Going 1 in 5.
They will not break me.
On my way. See you right there. Here, take this. I see one.
Behind you.
Roll it to me.
Guide you.
Oh, I got him right out of his ult. That was cute. Okay. I mean, that was something. Well, that's better than I thought.
Play of the game.
Well, they got some kills that time.
Surrender to
8-11 is still not great, but better than we were doing. If we land anywhere in silver, with how little I actually have.
Choose your map.
Do people just not like Flashpoint, or is there something wrong with that? I think it might just be Flashpoint. Oh, no.
Select your hero.
All right, Bunny.
Choose hero bands.
That'll do. Not that. Hey, if you're hearing things from the wrong direction, maybe you just haven't given me enough of your money. So true. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, me getting all my bands? Delicious.
Traveling to Mumbai. Prepare to attack. Select your
We'll try Arissa. I feel like this could be a good thing. Actually, I'm gonna.
Why seek answers when we do not know the question?
My cybernetic form came at great cost, but
Also, you mentioned the fart command earlier. I do not think
I'm
that I.
too young that my body couldn't always keep up with me. Besides,
I do not think that
it's
I did.
hard to turn down rocket lags.
So it might just not be working again.
yeah,
Yeah, the fart command is active.
no, no. Yeah,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Commence. Capture objective A.
Evidence suggests a sniper ahead.
Sniper.
The barrier appears. Barrier is nearly spent. Barrier unsuccessful. The barrier cannot withstand much more. I feel better.
All right. Oh, I forgot. I have these things too. Does this work? Oh. Oh. Kinda.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
I forgot how to go.
The universe is singing to me! Barrier initialized! Barrier is splintering!
I feel like Winston's kind of a weird choice on this one.
Next time, think twice. I'm on fire. Personne n'échappe à mon regard. Area denial. Enemy over there. Enemy over there. Come on, let's move this payload. Over here. Over there.
I believe that one
This is ulting.
It's go time.
I lost count of the ults there, but yeah. Well, I feel like Winston's not great at holding space, like holding a
The answer remains nebulous.
like he's good at getting in and getting back out, but I think he would be a smart for them on offense. But it feels like a weird choice.
The enemy is approaching.
enthusiasm sings for me! It's all wrong. Actuating the barrier.
Warm inside. Sniper spotted. Head down. Let's kick this off. Help me move the payload.
The barrier's weakened. Return to me.
Fire.
Ah, Adventure's a pain in the ass on the snap too.
Let the kitsune guide you. Kitsune no kagizume o tokimenate.
Yep. Yep.
Barrier initialized.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
It's go time.
I just feel like no one else is.
No time for games. Let's move
It
this
doesn't
thing.
feel like anybody else is doing any damage.
I'll
Like,
save
it feels
the
like it's
maiden.
an island out there by myself. I can acknowledge.
10 seconds remaining.
Victory slipping away. No, no.
Oh,
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Barrier's weakened. Barrier has fallen. Das Universum sinkt vor mir. Barrier initialized. Barrier is gone.
I just don't.
Score 2-0. Switching.
I don't know. I don't know what else I could have done. I wonder if maybe the DPS are just focused on the tank instead of. Doesn't pick up. Like that Mercy, how many times? I don't know.
Why seek answers when we do not know the question?
I tried the chicken nuggets you suggested, but why are they shaped like dinosaurs?
That is what makes them superior.
Ik sta te popelen.
Yeah, we can still do it. It's just we should have had.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
There is much to do. The barrier appeared. Barrier is hit. The barrier has fallen.
Gosh, that Mercy was low.
You must be more cautious.
Don't mind if I do.
Barrier initialized. The universe is singing to me.
Imagine solo ulting me though. Girl.
Back from the brink once more.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
The sleep rock combo, we love that. Yep. Yep. Reinhardt. He's mad.
60 seconds remaining.
Alle safety reden.
Part of me wants. Oh.
They're pushing the payload. Cut them off.
Only in unity will we find strength.
They're like focusing the shit out of me.
60 seconds. Gale the Mahal. My task is not yet finished.
That's not what I meant to do. I forgot I picked that. Oh, but. Someone get the mercy! What the fuck? God, I'm serious. This is real.
Defeat. Missteps.
Oh.
Play of the game.
Well,
Let the Kitsune guide you!
could have killed the mercy. I think the DPS were too focused on the other DPS. That tank just could not die. But what do I know? Alright, I think I'll do probably one more.
Vote for your map.
Yeah. The pet peeve when I say something. Say the same thing as though.
Select your hero. Select heroes to ban.
Oh. Oh.
Now arriving at the Shambhala Monastery. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Why seek answers when we do not know the
Science
question?
holds the key to understanding.
Now you see me?
I'd like to get better at
Now you don't.
He's just so different.
Lovely armor for a mission, isn't it?
Not very good at.
The older I get, the faster the years go.
It's likely that time is passing at the same rate it always has. Barring relativistic effects, of course.
I like you better when you are talking to yourself.
5,
Hold it
4,
together.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
The barrier appears.
I have you. Keep fighting.
good, Zarya. I had like 3 of them low.
So, to begin again.
Hey, it's Kiko.
60 seconds remaining.
Barrier initialized.
Hate Zarya. I literally want to DC the minute I see someone with Zarya. Because she's so annoying. And so not.
The answer remains
With
nebulous.
or against. And it always feels like someone else.
Over there! I'm here.
Actuating the barrier.
The breeze brings relief.
I am unready.
Back up. Yeah, really.
Hi!
See, that all sounds like it's coming from my right.
Огонь по готовности!
Stop them from moving a Halo!
Back from the brink once more.
There they are! Get ready!
60 seconds.
Hey! Hey! Catch! Do something!
I lost my balance.
30 seconds remaining.
We're outnumbered.
See, that sounds like she's up here on my right. She's not. I wonder if I've got some setting. Because that literally sounds like
The barrier appears. The barrier is weakened. Barrier unsuccessful.
Let the Kitsune guide you! Kitsune no kagizume o tokiharate! I'm on fire! That's straight.
Enemy in my sight.
Barrier is nearly spent. My barrier is gone. Barrier initialized.
30 seconds remaining.
Barrier cannot withstand much more. Barrier has fallen. Utilisations sind for me.
Огонь по готовности! You're powered up. Get in there.
The barrier is weakened.
she just melts me. Oh my god, she's so annoying. And someone is charging her up.
Bob! Do something!
A revelation was within my reach.
Payload is approaching its destination.
Uh-oh. The panther.
Complete. Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Oh, I don't want to go against her again. This is why we ban her. Oh.
We will have peace at any cost.
Can't change the world by following all the rules. Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
Stay sharp. It's harder to keep you alive when you're distracted.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Escort the payload.
The payload must be defended.
I've got you. Sit down, please.
Is someone gonna heal me, or are you all just gonna stand here and hide behind shit the whole time?
I'm with you.
Because if that's the case, I'll just do the same thing.
I tire of these games.
Огонь по готовности!
Do something!
Oh my god.
Clever tactics.
That's what I get for saying that we had good games earlier.
We are stronger together.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Thank you. Holy shit.
The Kitsune guy!
My resolve hardens.
We can't move until the
Какая?
payload moves.
I'm just sitting here letting the payload move backwards.
60 seconds.
What are you doing?
Какие парамбаста вектахе!
Take everything from them. I am on fire.
Do something!
30 seconds remaining.
Our time is running out.
I
Destroy that turret.
Well, it's like these, I mean, I guess it's placement questions. I think they don't know how to play this game.
10 seconds.
Огонь по готовности!
Oh my god. Holy.
Yet.
Play of the game.
That's so wild.
Огонь по готовности!
Anyway. Anyway, imagine running your mouth in, or place. Baby, we're all here. Yep. Literally. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. I've had enough for one day. Thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna try to get back to some sort of schedule, but I don't know. It's really hard to get motivated to stream for me right now. For a lot of reasons, but I don't know. I'm struggling to figure out like what. I think what drove me streamer before was the social aspect and getting to play games with people, and that's not really what we do anymore. And I think that's a big part of why it's hard to stay jazzed about streaming, because it's literally just me playing by myself all the time now. That's nobody's fault, but also it's again hard. Lots to think about, but anyway, thank you for hanging out. I will maybe stream tomorrow. I'm off again tomorrow. Bye.